What happened to Kim Richards' home and career news revealed Kim Richards is doing better now that she has moved out of California, according to her sisters. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kyle Richards and Kathy Hilton offered up news on Kim during Part 2 of the RHOBH Season 14 reunion. They shared the update on where she's living during the episode, after Andy Cohen asked about Kim's recent move to Florida. "She's spending time there, I think. She's doing better," Kathy said. "Better than the last time that there was stuff in the press," Kyle confirmed, to which Kathy concluded, "Yes, exactly, since Kim's moved to Florida." Kyle admitted that she and Kathy don't get to see their sister as much as they would like. "I know it is nice when we're all together," Kyle shared during RHOBH Season 14 Episode 16, noting that Kim is happy. Kyle added, "We're just not that close. I don't see her that much, unfortunately." Details on Kim Richards' latest career updates. Kim has also been focusing on her career. She recently appeared at the Chiller Theater Expo in New Jersey in April, according to Entertainment Now. At the expo, Kim met up with fans, signed autographs, and talked about her time as an actress in Hollywood. How Kyle Richards and Kathy Hilton are supporting Kim Richards. Kyle spoke with Briefing on Bravo in October 2024, where she revealed how she has been lending her support to Kim. "We are a family, so when something's going on with one of us, we all sort of stick together and circle around each other and try to be there and lift each other up," he said. "So that's what I've been trying to do." In December 2024, Kathy admitted to Briefing on Bravo that she would be celebrating the holidays with both of her sisters. "Yes, we'll all be together," she said. "And when it comes to Kim, she's doing well," Kathy added. In the past, Kyle said that she and Kim were in a good place during RHOBH Season 13. Episode 7, Kim's and My Relationship is in a very good place. Kyle said, "She knows I've been going through a really hard time, and she's been very supportive." This past year, what happened to Kim Richards, a new chapter in Florida, and a family that still circles back the silence before the shift in the sun-drenched quiet of a Florida morning. Kim Richards stepped out onto the wraparound porch of her bungalow in Naples barefoot and wrapped in a shawl. The former child actress, reality star, and tabloid regular took a deep breath. This was not Beverly Hills, and that was the point. After years of headlines, whispers, and the relentless noise of cameras and cast drama, Kim had done something radical. She disappeared, or rather she moved quietly without a press release. No paparazzi, no Bravo confessionals, just Kim, her suitcases, and a desire to start over. Kim's move to Florida hadn't been sudden. It had been a slow unraveling, strings pulled tighter each season on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, until they snapped. "I needed to hear myself think again," Kim would later tell a fan at the Chiller Theater Expo in April 2025, "and California just wasn't that place for me anymore." The reunion revelation. Kim's name came up at the RHOBH Season 14 reunion, not from her, but from her sisters Kyle Richards and Kathy Hilton, seated across from Andy Cohen in sequins and structured glam. The sisters spoke more candidly than expected. Andy leaned in. "There's been chatter about Kim moving to Florida. Can you two share how she's doing?" Kathy smiled a little hesitantly. "She's spending time there, I think. She's doing better than the last time that there was stuff in the press," Kyle added, glancing at her sister. Knowingly, Kathy nodded. "Yes, exactly. They didn't say what the stuff was, but viewers knew." The tabloid stories about a relapse scare the rumors that Kim had cut off contact with Kyle after a blowout argument, the canceled Bravo spinoff that was quietly shelved, that painful family therapy scene in Season 12 that ended with Kim walking out and never returning to the franchise. "She's happy," Kyle said. "Now in Season 14's final, but she's happy." A life less watched in Florida. Kim found she rented a cozy Spanish-style home a few blocks from the Gulf, far removed from the extravagance of Beverly Hills. She didn't miss the designer labels. She didn't miss being recognized in era when or overhearing strangers dissect her lowest moments. "I miss my girls sometimes," she admitted. To her neighbor Judy, a retired nurse from Michigan who had never seen an episode of Real Housewives, but not the cameras, Judy had shrugged to fame. "Is like Florida weather, looks good until a storm hits." Kim laughed at that. That's exactly right. For the first time in years, Kim found herself doing the things she once thought she'd never have: the peace for reading books, gardening, walking without her phone buzzing with notifications. When she did feel the pull of the spotlight, it was on her own terms. That's how she ended up at the Chiller Theater Expo in New Jersey that April. The comeback on her terms. It was a modest event, but to Kim it was thrilling. Surrounded by other actors from the 70s and 80s, she signed Old Escape to Witch Mountain posters, posed for photos with superfans, and reflected on her past. Without bitterness, Hollywood was magical, but also hard, she said to one fan. Dressed as her character from Nanny and The Professor, it's nice to be remembered for the magic part. Entertainment Now ran a small blurb: Kim Richards re-emerges at Chiller Expo. Fans thrilled. It was respectful, no mention of rehab, no dragging up mugshots, just a note that Kim had smiled and even shed a few tears when a little girl thanked her for being my first favorite actress back in Florida. Kim clipped the article and stuck it to her fridge with a seashell magnet. Kyle and the Quiet Sisterhood. Though Kyle and Kim had gone months without speaking, things began to shift in the fall of 2024. Kyle in the midst of her own personal upheaval, the split from Mauricio, rumors of dating a country singer, and tabloid meltdowns, reached out. "I know we've both said a lot of things," Kyle wrote in a text, "but I just miss my sister, that's all." Kim stared at the message for 3 hours before replying, "Miss you too. Let's talk soon." In October 2024, Kyle told Briefing on Bravo, "We've had our issues, but when one of us is going through something, we circle the wagons. That's what we do." By December, the sisters were back in the same room for the first time in a year. Kathy hosted Christmas at her bare estate, where Kim surprised everyone by flying in. No cameras, no packs, just sisters, nieces, and peppermint bark. "She's doing well," Kathy told the press a week later. "She really is." Ghosts of seasons past. Despite her progress, Kim couldn't entirely escape the past. Bravo's loyal viewers kept asking, would Kim ever return to RHOBH? Andy Cohen certainly hoped so. In an interview on Watch What Happens Live, he mused, "Kim is one of those housewives who truly defined the early seasons. If she ever wanted to come back, even just for a sit-down, she knows the door's open." But Kim wasn't sure. She'd heard the rumors that producers wanted a Richard sister season, possibly for season 15. Kathy, always the wild card, was game. Kyle was cautious, but Kim hesitated. "I've told enough of my story," she confided to her therapist, an easygoing Fidian who preferred surf metaphors. "I don't want to drown in old waves," the therapist smiled, "so maybe you paddle out just enough to feel the water again." A new project in the works. By spring of 2025, word quietly began to spread. Kim Richards was writing a book. Not a tell-all on how to Bravo expose, but something closer to a memoir, a collection of essays about childhood, stardom, motherhood, addiction, healing, and identity beyond the screen. Tentatively titled Unscripted: My Life Without the Cameras, it was being shopped around by a boutique literary agent based in Tampa. Kyle and Kathy had both read early drafts. Kyle, moved by its vulnerability, offered to write the foreword. Kim declined at first. "This needs to be my voice, not ours," but eventually agreed. Kathy, emotional after reading a chapter about their mother, Big Kathy told Kim, "I wish we had all talked like this sooner." "I wasn't ready to," Kim replied. "Now I am." Backstage at Bravo. At BravoCon 2025 in Las Vegas, fans were stunned when Kim made a surprise appearance during a RHOBH panel. Dressed simply in jeans and a pastel blouse, she walked on stage next to Kyle and Kathy, the three sisters standing together for the first time in years. The crowd erupted. Andy Cohen genuinely surprised welcomed her with open arms. "Kim, are you back?" Kim smiled. "I'm just visiting," but the moment was powerful. A small tear glistened in Kyle's eye. Kathy clutched Kim's hand like a lifeline when asked if she'd ever return to RHOBH. Kim didn't say no, she simply said, "Right now, I'm good where I am, but never say never." The woman in the mirror one night alone in her Florida home, Kim stood before her bathroom mirror and looked at herself not as a real housewife, not as a former child star, not as someone's troubled sister, but just as Kim. She thought about the years lost, but also the years still ahead. She was in her 60s now. She had stories to tell. Not all of them were pretty, but they were hers. Her phone buzzed. A text from Kyle. "Proud of you always." Kim smiled. She texted back, "Thanks, Izzy. Let's do brunch when I'm in LA." But no filming as spring turned to summer in 2025. Kim Richards found herself living a life that wasn't defined by Bravo or press cycles or family tension. It was her life, finally and fully.